Position. Boy, is she going to be talking all through the class? Well, we'll find out.
We should probably mute ourselves.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
I'd recognize that giggle anywhere. So we'll come up into a standing position and take a second just to ground ourselves in a vertical position on Mother Earth. And welcome the day in. Maybe bring the hands to the heart and set an intention for the practice today. If nothing else, just to clear out the mental junk in our junk closet. And encourage that smooth clarity and gentleness of mind and heart. So today we're going to, I thought since the journalists are saying that Americans everywhere are going to be traveling like crazy, I thought we would travel today. So just taking your left foot and just taking a short step just in front of you, so it's just a step. And having that back foot on an angle. And then we're going to start with the hands on the hips, just inhaling as we come forward and exhaling as we come backwards. And this is where we lift our front foot when we go backwards. Inhaling, exhaling, and just gliding forward and backwards. And maybe we'll hang on each position like for 3 seconds, and then shifting to the front, coming to the back. And we'll do that just a few more times. All the birds around my house are very excited about the day and the rain. And then next time we come forward, we'll lift the arms up, inhaling up, straight arms, exhaling, bent arms, coming down the front of the body, inhaling up, and exhaling back. And just trying to slow the breath down a little bit. Inhaling as we come forward, exhaling as we come back. So it's just like the tides of the ocean. And knowing that just as the all those droplets, all those waves are being guided by the ocean until they reach the shore, we also have that inner source that guides us. It guides us best when we're listening. We don't also always listen, but we're trying. Inhaling up, exhaling back. So we're ebbing and flowing like those tides. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, calming the breath, and when of course we calm the breath, we calm the mind. So we'll do it 2 more times. Ocean breath. Coming forward and back. And this time as we come forward, we'll lean forward and bring that back foot up. Bringing the hands down to the heart and closing the eyes. Continuing to breathe with that nice slow flow. And I'll turn my music on while everybody's here. So as we're here, we're going to take these hands and send them forward, inhaling, exhaling, and opening. Just like the cormorants on the beach, exhaling and closing, inhaling to the heart. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and opening. And this time we'll roll the hands so that the palms are upwards. And then roll the palms all the way around. Rolling the palms all the way forward so that they're actually facing the sun. And then rolling them all the way around and behind so that they face the sun. Coming out one more time. And then exhaling. Bringing those hands to the heart. Inhaling, and then we'll do this one more time, extending the hands forward. Loving up the creation. And then expressing and feeling that love coming back. And taking it all into the heart. So we've finished being robins. So now we'll take this Namaskar Mudra up to the sky and interlace the fingers and palm the sky as we exhale and lean to the left. Pressing those feet into Mother Earth. Inhaling to the center and pressing to the other direction.
Hi, Irene. Yay! Whee!
Coming into the center and then releasing the hands and flying down slowly. Coming down to the toes. And you can even, if you don't have socks on, you can grab your big toes with your first two fingers. Inhaling and slowly flying back up. Exhaling. Inhaling into a gentle back bend. And holding that for just a second or two. And then coming into the center where we're going to whirl those arms around and come down. They're going to fly behind us. Fly back up. And back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. So then we'll start this cycle again. So interlacing the fingers and sending them over the head. And then we'll glide to the left. So when we glide to the left, we're really sinking that right foot into the earth more powerfully. As we greet the freshness of this new day, inhaling back to center, and then we'll exhale over to the other direction. Breathing in and breathing out while we're in this diagonal position. Stretching some of those muscles, coming back to center. And then we're going to swan dive down. So we're going to release the arms and fly all the way down to the earth. Maybe grabbing those big toes and squeezing them. So that's a meridian that comes up into the brain. So we're squeezing the brain. And then letting go, inhaling and slowly coming back up. Coming all the way up. Exhaling. Inhaling into a gentle back bend. And then coming up to the center. Inhaling and whirling those arms around and down. They swing behind us, they swing back up, and the hands come back to the heart. So we take a moment to inhale and exhale, and then we'll start this series all over again and do it one more time. So interlacing the hands and bringing them above the head, exhaling to the left, remembering to press that right leg into the earth, getting an extra side stretch. And then coming to the center and leaning towards the right. Breathing in, breathing out, and bringing those hands to the center. We're going to release the arms and swan dive down. Coming down slowly, slowly to the toes. Hanging over for a little while. Inhaling those arms to the side and flying up towards the sky. And exhaling. Then we'll inhale into a gentle back bend, pulling that chin in. Sometimes the whole head wants to kind of drop back. Nice long neck as we come into a gentle back bend, and then we'll come straight up. And this is where we'll whirl the arms completely around and down in front. Swinging those arms behind the body and swinging them back up and coming back into a mountain pose. So resting and building your mountain for the day. Maybe you have a favorite. And taking a moment to breathe in and breathe out and to be that mountain, which some of the mountains still have snow on them. Some have snow melting. So being kind of embodying the spirit of one of your favorite mountains. Mount Sopris being one of my favorite mountains by Glenwood Springs and Carbondale. I don't think she's a 14er, but I think she's just fine. So then we're going to come into one of our series for the day. So we're going to take a wider stance, bringing that left foot forward and sending that right foot back, making sure that that back foot is on a diagonal and the front toes are all pointing away from the body towards the wall. And then we're going to square those hips so that they're just like headlights and they're going straight ahead. Squaring those hips, bringing the hands to the heart, making sure that your legs are a little bit apart so they'll support you well. Inhaling those arms up and then exhaling into that front knee. Breathing in and breathing out. So when I practice the warrior poses, I I think of them more as spiritual warrior poses where we're out for unity, where we're out for inclusiveness, where we're out for alleviating the well-being of everyone and everything. And then we're going to exhale and swan dive down. So then we're going to put our hands, our fingers, so that they line up with our toes. Breathing in, breathing out, so the tummy should be coming down to the thigh. And then we're going to lower that back knee. So we're going to bring that back knee down to the ground. Press that knee and the lead foot into the ground as we raise those hands up and come into a kneeling warrior. Breathing in, breathing out, bringing those hands together and at the heart. And we're going to turn towards this bent leg. So exhaling, twisting over to the side where the leg is bent. Pressing that front foot in. And then we're going to bring our right arm straight, and it's going to come against, hopefully, that bent knee. So those fingers are pointed towards the ground, and the other hand is pointed straight up. So we're putting on our T-arms. We're opening our arms. One arm is towards the earth. One is towards the sky. And we're breathing in and breathing out. So then we'll bring those hands together and up, turning towards the center. We'll send those arms up into kneeling warrior again. Not to be confused with kneeling warrior, which you'll never see in this lifetime. Breathing in, breathing out, and then we're going to drop those hands and we're going to line those fingers up with that front toe. Well, hopefully you have 5 front toes there. So then we're going to pop that back knee up and bring that back foot forward to its neighbor. Walking the hands back to the feet, inhaling back up, exhaling back down, and bringing the hands to the heart once again. Yeah, you survived the first round. That's good. Breathing in. Breathing out. So then we're going to set our mountain up for the next series in this warrior series. So one foot is away from the body. The back foot is on a diagonal. And then once we have those feet into position, once again, we'll check our hips and make sure that they're shining straight ahead. Getting ready for that full moon. Then we'll bring the hands to the heart. Inhaling those arms up, exhaling into that front knee. Coming into that spiritual warrior pose. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling that straight line of energy in your back leg, that bent knee in the front. And you may even be smiling. So more and more we're using our warriors for service, for helping others. Then we'll exhale these arms slowly down. So we're going to line up our fingers and toes again. So we're folded over, our tummy is resting on the thigh. Fingers and toes are lined up. And then we're going to drop that back knee down. So then pressing into those feet, we're going to inhale those arms up into kneeling warrior. Breathing in, breathing out. Bringing those hands down to the heart center, that compassion center. And then once again, we're going to turn towards this bent knee. So we're turning towards the other side. Maybe the elbow is resting on that bent leg, maybe not, depending on how your body does on this side of the universe. And then we're going to straighten that left arm so that it's against that bent knee, and then send the other arm to the side. So we have one hand pointed to Mother Earth, one hand pointed towards Father, Son. Breathing in and out as we're twisting around the belly. Pressing into the feet and toes. Bringing those hands together, and then we're going to slowly turn towards the center once again. And sweep those arms out once again. And embracing that kneeling warrior. And breathing out. And then we're going to get ready to forward fold once again. Bringing those fingers to line up with the toes. And then once we have that and this position is secured, we're going to lift that back knee up. And then we're going to bring that foot right next to its partner once again. And inhale those wings up and over, crossing the hands, coming back down, bringing those hands back to the heart. So we'll do this series one more time on each side. So we're going to set up our spiritual warrior again on this side, whatever side that's different than how you did it before. Having one lead foot straight ahead, one foot on a little bit of an angle, making sure those feet and legs are hip width apart and not together. Then we'll sweep those arms up towards the sun and exhale into that front knee. So as we're doing this, we're engaging those bandhas, the lower bandha, the waist bandha, the throat bandha. Zena, the Great Dane, is passing my house. She always puts a big smile on my face. She's a great big brindle, Great Dane, beautiful girl with her elderly partners. Swan diving down, lining up those fingers and toes. So my thumb is back, but my other fingers and toes are lined up. So we're going to hang out here for 2 breaths while our leg is massaging our innards. Our inner organs on that side are getting massaged in this pose. Breathing in, breathing out. And then getting ready to come down on that knee. So when you're ready, bringing that back knee down. And once you've stabilized your position, inhaling those arms and wings up. So we find ourselves in kneeling warrior once again. Always wanting to move from a place of stability. And then we're going to bring this namaskar to the heart as we turn towards the direction of that bent knee. Turning to the side. So it's balancing, challenging for sure. Challenging our balance, keeping the breath flowing. Coming back and turning slowly back to center. And this time we're going to bring the arms up. And because the full moon is coming up, we're going to bend those elbows and space those hands away from each other. So we can embody that radiance of that full moon that's coming. So even while we're kneeling, we're engaging those bandhas again. Engaging the bandhas with a smile. Bringing those wings down this time, lining up those fingers and toes. And then lifting that back knee. Getting ready to hop that back knee, that back foot next to the front foot. And eventually inhaling those wings up to the sides, over the head, crossing the hands. Slowly coming back down and coming to the heart. Recalibrating the breath. Flowing with that wind outside. Flowing with the creation. How can we think of ourselves as more than just one individual being, but part of this huge family, this huge global family. And so then we're going to get ready to set up for our mountain pose on the other side. So changing the legs, having one foot going forward, the other leg a little bit behind. Having those legs hip width at least apart. And grounding those feet. Imagine those little roots coming out of the bottom of your feet and joining with Mother Earth. So we want to merge with the earth on this one. Inhaling those arms up, exhaling into that front knee. Being the spiritual warrior, the spiritual supporter of all. I think I was supporting some potato bugs yesterday. Breathing in, breathing out. Putting a big smile mudra on your face, even though you're not feeling shiny. Tricking the brain to releasing those good endorphins. Exhaling down. Bringing the chest down on the bent knee. Bringing the fingers down to the toe line. And just resting here while we breathe in. Breathe out, and we're massaging those inner organs on this side of the body. Getting ready to come down on that knee. So whenever you're ready, you can bring that knee down. And once you feel grounded, you can inhale those arms out to the side. Yes, yoga is a contact with your furniture in your living room sport. Bringing those arms up. So in many of these poses, we're connecting with heaven and earth, connecting with expansion and contraction. All those dualities in life, bringing them all together. And then we're going to bring this hand down into a Namaskar mudra. And we're going to twist towards that bent knee again. And so sending this wish for peace, this wish for balance, this wish for a good life to all living beings on this side. And sometimes the muscles in the legs are jiggling and trying to make sense out of this. And then we'll inhale up, coming more towards center. And as we sweep those arms out, again, we're going to make that full moon that we're coming into later in the week. Oh, I think it's an eclipse. Didn't they say we were going to have a lunar eclipse? So we get to imagine how are we eclipsing in our lives? So making sure that we're always covered with brightness. And exhaling the arms down and forward towards those toes again. Reaching towards those toes. Resting the tummy on that leg. Getting ready to come up into standing. So we're lifting that back knee. And then we're going to bring it up towards the front foot. And when we're there, we'll slowly inhale those arms up and over, crossing the hands and coming back to the heart. So this is where I will make a brief communication with Tom. I don't know if Kim has my email address, so she's not on our yoga list. So
I don't
Tom,
have your email address, so I'll get it from Tom, but I'm here.
oh, good. Okay. Or
But
I can send your, oh, I didn't know you were with us. This is so exciting.
yeah, well, I'm shaky, so I didn't want my video on.
That's fine. That's fine. So I can put you on our mailing list.
That'd be
You-
great. Yeah,
you
so
want-
get the email from Tom. He has it.
That would
Or
be
I've
good.
got your phone number. No, I don't even have your phone number. Let me get that real fast. Then I can just call you.
Yeah, I've lost your information down through the years, so.
What's your phone number?
720,
Uh-huh.
everybody got their pen? 720-244-8252.
Perfect. I'll call you with my email address. Thank you. I'm here.
Yeah, good to hear
Thank
your
you.
voice.
And thank you, Tom.
So we're coming to the center and breathing in and breathing out. So then we're going to widen our stance so that the feet are actually wider than the mat. So we're going to go into our lunging again that I've been doing a lot of lately. And so the toes are a little bit pointed out to the side, so they aren't strictly bending just towards the wall. And we're straightening one leg and bending the other. And trying to weave our breath into that motion. So here again, we want to bring in that lower pelvis, the abdominals, and the throat. Just going slowly from side to side. And then as we're doing this, we're going to take both arms with us on this journey and glide them in the form of figure 8, which is a the form of infinity. How can we bring more infinity into our lives? And gliding from side to side. So just a reminder that it was too cold to go to the park today. It's going to be too cold in a week, but I won't be here in a week because I'll be in a yoga retreat. So there will be no yoga next week. Sliding that figure 8 from side to side. And then we can even come around to this, our own sides a little bit, so that it's not just in the frontal plane, it's in the side plane. And then slowing it down. So we'll do a couple of glides in slow-mo. Going from side to side and trying to just twist a little bit behind. And then we'll come to center. Bring the toes in, the heels, the toes, the heels, the toes, and the heels until we are in our mountain pose once again. Bring the hands to the heart. Always striving to come to that heart center before and after every action. Just to make sure that we're embedding compassionate lifestyle, compassionate thinking, compassionate acting. So then we'll drop our arms to our side. We're going to take that right arm, sorry, it's your left arm, across the body and up, straight ahead, and then we're twisting the whole body to the side because we're going to drop it behind us. Swiveling it around the front again, taking it up to the sky, turning towards that arm and around so we can lower it behind. And then we'll do one more of these big, ginormous arm circles. And as we come towards the front, then we're going to bring the other one, crossing that midline, turning the torso to the side and coming down. Swiveling around, crossing the midline, coming up on a diagonal. Slowly coming down. So here we're integrating those two hemispheres of the brain by making a diagonal movement, shifting in the hips, coming back down. And then we're going to bring both arms up and around. We did a movement really similar to this with the straps last week. But we're flying solo today. Bringing those arms into big circles. One more time, and then we'll bring the hands up to the heart. Closing the eyes and just breathing in. Breathing out. So we want to do this in our daily lives as well, not to be just moving every minute, but taking a time in just to breathe in, breathe out, just to be with that inner essence without doing. So then we're going to come to the wall for our balance pose for today. And again, we're going to have our back into the wall. So you can be either, 1 or 2 inches away from the wall, or you can lean into the wall, just depending on how your balance is going to be for you today. And while we're here, we're going to do the puppet. So the puppet is inhaling this knee up and exhaling it down. Inhaling the other knee up and exhaling it down. So we're shifting our weight from side to side, just like we're a little marionette. You ever feel like somebody else is pulling your strings? So doing this one more time on each side, just to get that feel of going from side to side with the weight and shifting. So then we're going to bring the left leg up on its toes, because we're going to lift that one up first. And then whenever you're ready, putting your hands underneath that knee and lifting that knee up. So we're putting a lot of weight on that base leg and just pulling that knee up as high as is comfortable for your body. Breathing in, please breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll let this leg go down. And then once again, we're going to put the other toes underneath the body, trying to get that leg used to the idea of not being supported by gravity. And then slowly interlace the fingers underneath the knee, or you can put them over the knee. It just depends on what position is best for your knee. And standing on that base leg. So you can feel the tightening of the muscles, as even if you're leaning against the wall, you're still putting a lot of weight on that. Breathing in, breathing out. And then lowering this foot. So we'll do this pose one more time on each side, starting with the big toe kind of into the mat. And then eventually bringing that leg up. The hands on top of the knee or under the knee, whatever your gesture of choice is. Breathing in and out one more time, and then we'll lower it slowly to the ground and lift the other foot as we get ready to embrace this balance on the other side. And then slowly bringing that knee up. Breathing in, breathing out. Energizing those joints and the hips, knees, and ankle on this one. Bringing that leg down. So while we're here, we're going to inhale those arms up and then come up on the toes just a little bit. Exhale those arms down. Inhale back up. Coming up on the toes, and it doesn't need to be maximum tiptoeing going on here, but just exercising those muscles on the bottom of the feet. And then we'll come up one more time. Exercising that plantar and all those muscles in the feet. And this is why I don't ice skate. So then we'll come down to the ground. Coming down to Mother Earth. With the soles of the feet together. And this day, before we go into turtle, we're going to just shake the legs a little bit. As we would in butterfly. So kind of, you might want to support those knees or see what your legs need as you exercise all those muscles in the inner leg on this one by flexing those legs. And you can kind of wiggle your feet away from the body as we bring those wings all the way in. And then we bring them all the way out. And we're gently bouncing the legs. And then bringing those wings in. I haven't seen any butterflies yet. And then once again, we'll flex those knees and the inner parts of the leg and then bring those legs together and send them apart. So here we'll come into turtle. So on turtle, we're bending forward. So feeling that hip movement of bending forward and then bringing the hands either on top of the feet or under the feet. Whatever strikes your fancy today. And then rounding the back. And so in turtle, I always like to breathe through the back. So much of our breathing is frontal breathing. So expanding and contracting those muscles in the back. And sometimes I will voluntarily do that because my back gets really tight. And just to help that along, I did 2 hours of gardening at least. So sometimes I'll expand those muscles and relax and contract them. So using the breath as your guide. Breathing into the back and working those muscles in a very tender and gentle way. So another way to do that is to come upright, put on your cross-legged legs, and slide the hands away from the body. And once again, breathing in, breathing out, but giving all that awareness and that attention to the back body. Feeling that breath going all the way down, almost to your waist. And then we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then pulling those hands up and coming into a seated position. So while we're here, we're going to do a little orbiting. So folding forward, leaning to the side, coming to the back, and then leaning to the other side. So your glutes are grounded and rooted in the earth. So don't let them come up as we orbit around the body. Making sure that you glide to the side, glide to the front, glide to the other side. Hold on to your knees for dear life. As we circle around the body. So when I do this, sometimes I take notes of how my muscles are doing or not doing. And kind of do a self-study analysis on, well, how can I be more compassionate with those muscles? And then the next time we come forward, we're going to change directions and whirl around the other side. Trying to keep the back straight. And then coming front and center, so we're gonna lift our legs out straight in front of us and put our hands behind the body. And we're going to lift our left leg first, so it only needs to be 1 inch. And then slide it out to the side, maybe putting it down, and then lifting it up and bringing it back to center. Lifting up the other leg, taking it out to the side, and pointing those toes towards the other one as we bring it in. Lifting the other leg, pointing those toes away from the body, and then lifting that leg and pointing the toes towards its friend. So we'll do a couple of these, always sliding the toes kind of away from the body on an ankle, and then coming towards the center. And I call this pose the screamer. Always pointing the toes in the direction in which you're going, so you might be rotating the leg a little bit. And then as we come front and center, we're going to point the toes away from the body, towards the head, away from the body, and towards the head. And then we're going to make a wide V. And so we're going to bring the opposite arm over to hover over the toes. So I'm taking my right arm over and coming up on top of my toes, and then I'm switching arms. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling down. Inhaling the arms up and coming down. So we eventually want to bring the hand over so that it saws that little toe down. We're kind of clear cutting our little toes today. So getting that maximum twist and stretch. Coming up into that T whenever you're done, in between sawing that little toe. You want to be able to get into those new shoes. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You don't have to touch the toe, just hovering over the toe is fine. And then we'll go over this toe one more time. Coming back into that seated T pose, and then bringing the arms down, bringing the legs into a cross-legged position. So we're going to practice the I think Agni Sara practice, which is having the hands on the waist, but we're bringing those fingers in towards our navel. And we're actually pressing all those fingers into the digestive tract. So this is really good for digestion as we fold over. So first it starts with inhaling and lengthening the body. And then as we exhale, those fingers come into contact with those organs. We're trying to squeeze them as we fold forward. Inhaling and coming up and relaxing. Exhaling and pushing those fingers into the GI tract, holding the breath. And inhaling and coming out. So we'll do this one more time. Inhaling and then exhaling, folding other. Squeezing into those organs. Pausing the breath. Inhaling and coming up. So then we're going to come into a tabletop. Coming into a tabletop position, and from the tabletop, we'll drop down into Cobra. But let's drop down with control. So if you're on your knees, bringing your knees back a little bit, and then calming slowly down. And then let's keep the hands like near the waist and come up. Pulling in those abdominals. Coming into the tabletop, and then we'll go down one more time. Exhaling, bringing those elbows in towards the body, coming down with control, and then bringing those hands up around your ears, and just resting the forehead in the mat. Inhaling and coming up into no hands cobra, so lifting your forearms, no hands on the mat, looking down, nice long neck, breathing in, breathing out, and exhaling and slowly coming down. Breathing into the mat a couple times. And then whenever you're ready, inhaling with the flying cobra again, inhaling the arms up. Nice long neck. And then exhaling slowly back down. So bringing that awareness to the breath, bringing the awareness to that fact that you're rising from darkness to light. So on this third time, coming up into Sphinx or on top of your hands, whatever variation of Cobra is comfortable. So inhaling up, coming onto your forearm or your hands. If you're coming up in your hands, you want to spread those fingers so you're distributing your weight to every finger, starfish fingers. Exhaling and coming down. I think we hear a musician playing for the coyotes or wolves in the canyon. Inhaling and coming up. Nice long neck. As we look straight ahead. And then we can look up for just 2 seconds. Looking at the ceiling, looking at the sun, and then coming back down and exhaling down. So while we're here, we're going to slide our hands back towards the waist. and come back up into tabletop. And from tabletop, we're going to do something we haven't done for a long time. So putting your right hand in the middle, we are going to put the left leg out straight behind you. Oops, I need to scoot up so I'm on the mat. Left leg straight ahead, right hand in the center, and we're going to lift that left hand up, and the right knee is in the mat. I didn't hear anybody crash. I hope we're okay. So this is another weight-bearing arm pose. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So I'll have my back to you. So we'll bring the hand down. We'll be back in tabletop. We're going to bring the left hand in the center. The right leg is coming straight behind the body with that big toe into the earth. And then we're going to lift that right hand up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Another version of the gate pose. Then we're going to bring our hand down, come into tabletop, and we're going to do that one more time on each side. So right hand in the middle, left foot straight behind you, and then we're going to twist with that left arm up to the sky. Right knee is bent. Hello, I'm waving to all of you. And then we'll try this on the other side, bringing the arm down. Always good to challenge ourselves with something new. The left hand is in the middle. The right foot is, that leg is straight behind you with the toes digging into the earth. And then we're going to lift that right hand up. There it goes. Harder on one side than the other. Breathing in, breathing out, and then lowering that hand back down. So then we'll come into a seated position. And we're going to have our left leg out to the side. The right leg is bent. So we're always turning our torso towards this outstretched leg. So this is, we're going to do Jana Shirasana next, and that's good for the back. And it helps to cultivate hope. So with the hands on both sides of the leg, and this leg can be bent, so you can have your heel into the earth, inhaling those arms up, turning the torso towards the leg, and exhaling down. Grabbing that foot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Kind of pushing the knee into your frontal spine, stretching that lower back, inhaling the arms up, and you can slide the leg out. And then we're going to go for it again. So bending that knee, bringing those wings down and around. Breathing in. Breathing out. Don't listen to that ego that says that your nose should touch the knee. Don't do that. Inhaling. It's just like having a foreign entity in your brain sometimes. And make sure that you twist the torso towards that straight leg before you bend it, before you bring the arms down. May my heart and mind be filled with hope. Inhaling those arms up, straightening that leg, and then we're just going to jump the legs to the other side. And again, I'm turning my torso towards that straight leg, coming up on the heel, inhaling and exhaling down. So I brought the toes towards my head so I can grab them. My foot's not down on the floor. And you can, I can really feel this in my back. Breathing in, breathing out. So the more you, for example, put energy into your hand on your foot and draw that leg into the chest, the more you can feel it in your back. Inhaling, letting the leg go, letting the arms fly. Taking a breath and then coming into it again, twisting the torso. Coming down to that foot. So the foot comes up, the toes come up. Being kind to the body. Breathing in, breathing out, and then letting it all fly again. And then we're gonna go for it one more time. Sliding that heel back up. Twisting the torso. Coming down. So then as we come back into sitting, we're going to come down on the floor. So turning your body around, coming down and laying down on the floor while I cue up my music again, which hopefully will play the first time. Hi dear, are you there? So while we're here on the floor, we're going to bring our knees so that they're bent and bringing that right ankle up and putting that ankle right on the left knee. So we're getting ready for thread the needle. So then we have this hole, the eye of the needle between our legs. And our hands are going to go on the outside of that base leg and through the eye of the needle. So popping that foot up, bringing that leg that was on the floor up towards your chest. And wrapping your hand either around that knee or under the knee. So it depends on how your knees are as to which handhold you have. And stretching that glute. So while we're here, we're going to, oh, actually you can turn both the ankles on this one. Both my ankles are going in circles. And then I'm going to try to change the direction that both my ankles are going in. Then we're going to point our toes and then flex our toes backwards. Point our toes and flex them backwards. Still working on that hip. Man, mine is talking to me today. So breathing into that tension in the hip. Letting it have your full attention. And sending the attention of kindness. Sending the attention and intention of spaciousness. So imagine that your breath is going into that hip. And then we're going to let that left leg go down, and the right leg is up here with us still. So we're going to put one hand on the knee and the other hand on the ankle, just like you would in Rock the Baby. And we're going to rock that hip from side to side. So sometimes when I do this, my hip is so tight that I rub it. I try to send some tender, loving care into that hip. And I will rub it as I'm sliding that leg from side to side and stretching that hip. So this is the reverse pigeon. You know, and then we can just bring that knee up, hug it into the body, send it up to the ceiling, rubbing that knee and hip joint and sending it slowly down to the earth. So then we'll bend both knees and put the left ankle on the right knee. And then once again, we've made that eye and the needle between the two knees. And we're going to take our hands on the through that eye and through the outside of the leg. Pop that base leg up. So we're hopping with it. And bringing that leg closer to the chest. And glory be told, my other knee is, or hip is just as tight as the first one. So breathing into that hip traffic jam and maybe twirling our ankles any way that they will twirl. So giving them the ankles a couple of turns in one direction and then turning them in the other direction. Feeling that, noticing that knee that your hand is around, you know, is it around the top of the knee or under the knee, and do you need to change your hand position? So be aware of the body. And then we're going to point the toes and then pull the toes backwards. Point the toes and pull the toes backwards. And then we're going to do that one more time. Point the toes and pull them backwards. So it's nice to exercise those feet. Not doing the same thing over and over again, day in, day out. So it's nice to keep them moving in different ways. So once again, on that exhale breath, send that breath to the hip. Send it that wish for spaciousness. So sometimes we have to be careful about when we cross our legs. Are we always crossing our legs to the same side? Are we overstepping one hip more than the other when we walk? Do we lean to the side when we sit, which is something I do apparently all the time. So how are we using those hips? So then we're going to let that bottom leg go down to the earth. And we're going to take this left leg and have the hand on the knee, one hand on the knee, one on the foot. And we're kind of going to do a rock the baby with it. And see how this one does as we pull that knee towards the chest and rock it from side to side. And see how the tension is on this side of the body. Sometimes I think my hips are doing just fine until I do these stretches and it's like, oh, we're not doing so well. So sliding it gently, you know, with gentleness from side to side. Stretching that hip a little. So not overstretching, overstretching actually causes micro tears in the muscles, so we don't want that. So then we're going to stretch our foot out towards the ceiling, out towards Father Sky. And then we're going to lower it slowly to the ground. And so when that leg eventually reaches the ground, we want to bounce both the legs. Bounce both those legs. So then we're going to bend both knees and bring both legs up to the sky. So our feet are on our ceilings. And then we're going to take our arms and point both the arms towards the feet. And we're going to raise the head and arms towards those feet. And then we're going to exhale them down. And then we're going to raise the head and arms again. And lower them down. And raise the head and arms a third time. And lower them down. And then we're going to bring the arms down so that they're parallel to the floor and above the floor. I guess they're horizontal is the word I'm looking for. And then we're going to lift the head again. So we can bend the knees and come back to the floor with the hands and the head. Inhaling the legs up. Inhaling the arms so that they're parallel to the floor and the neck is up. And going back down, letting the hands go, bending the knees. And then one more time, having the feet on the ceiling, arms parallel to the floor. Parallel to the floor and raising the head. Engaging the core, and then bringing those legs down, bending the knees, and just kind of popping the feet up and down. So then we'll have the left leg straight on the floor and bring that right leg up to the ceiling and into the chest and wrap our hands either on top of that knee or under the knee. Massaging all those organs again. Also stretching the back. And then lifting that leg up towards the sky, exhaling it down. As that leg reaches the ground, the other leg comes up to the sky and pulling that leg, bending that knee, pulling that leg right into the chest, and you can feel it right into the back. And then inhaling that leg up to the sky and ticking that leg slowly down to the ground. And then for the next part, I like to slide, you have to bend the knees, slide the hands underneath the tailbone, bringing both legs up, then letting those hands go and hugging both those legs into the chest. Bless you. And then both legs go up to the ceiling, up to the sky, and then, of course, this is good core work. So we'll do that one more time, lifting one leg up to the sky, pulling it into the thoracic cavity, into the chest. Breathing. And then sending it up to the sky and taking it down. Letting it go down slowly, stretching those abdominal muscles. Inhaling the other leg up, slowly coming up. Bending that knee, pulling it into the chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then sending this leg up to the ceiling and ticking that leg slowly down, just like the hand up clock. And then bringing both legs up. And both knees bending into the chest. And here we're going to glide a little from side to side, massaging out the back. It's like giving yourself a back rub. Going from side to side, coming up, and from here we're going to put our arms in a T, bending those knees and coming to the side. So with the arms in the T, we want to bring them down a little bit, so it's like an upside down V. And you can rest your knees on top of that arm, or you can try to hold them so that they're hovering. So if you can hold them hovering above the floor, it gives your core a little bit more of a workout. Or you can rest them on your arm. You can see which one you feel like doing today. And then coming to rest on the arm before we bring those knees back up to center and then take them over to the other side, which I would suggest dropping them on your arm initially, just to relax those muscles. And then if you want to hover, you can do that. And just do it for like 4 seconds or something, and then let them go back down. So trying to keep your shoulders anchored in the earth. And sometimes you need a little blanket under your head to do that. Do that well. So then we'll bring the knees to the center. Take them to the other side, have them rest on your arm initially. And then if you want a little core workout, you can hover for like 3 or 4 seconds. Or just relax. And then bring them down to relax on top of your arm. And then we're going to bring them straight up and go to the other side. So initially the knees come to the arm and rest. And then you can hover them for 4 seconds. And then let them relax. So then we'll bring them up to the center, and we're going to bring the legs out into Shavasana, deep relaxation. Maybe shake your legs out and turn your neck and head from side to side. And just merge into the earth one more time. And just relaxing and we'll sing a short Bhavanam Kevalam. Going over a little bit, so sorry. Breathing into the essence of our being. Relaxing all of our body parts into Mother Earth. Breathing in and exhaling an ah. So just breathing in and going ah. Do doing it again just to let it all fly. Letting the troubles just exit your body. They gang up in those little pockets of our physical body, and then it's hard to exterminate them. Taking a moment to remember that we're sitting on love. Love is above us. Love surrounds us. Babanam, Kevalam, 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 Abadam Kevalam. Abadam Kevalam. Kevalam. Namaskar. May you find wonder wherever you are. Thank you for coming.